everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last build, making an EVA foam Squareness gun part 1, you saw us get the bulk of this thing built. Okay, we got the whole front end built, we got the back end kind of roughly shaped out. Okay, a lot of layering up, a lot of cutting out to reveal what we have, and we've got basically the two halves almost completely ready to go. So in this episode, making an EVA foam Squareness gun part 2, we're going to complete the whole build, we're going to shape the back end, we're going to attach the two halves, and we're going to seal it and paint it. Bam! And it's a cool paint job, kind of an easy paint job. It's going to look like steel, and we've got these little blue sections in here because the glow that would come out of it. No real lights inside, we're just painting it. And the wood handle, and you've seen us do this technique before. Pretty simple to do wood grain. It's not perfect, but from a little ways away, it looks like wood. Go figure. So that's it. So if you're ready to hit it, let's make something. All right, now here comes the next piece of this, okay? We're going to roll this over and we're going to transfer this pattern over to the top, okay? Because we want to taper the back end of this thing so that the back part of the handle gets thinner, all right? All right, there we go. Now we have our top cut. All right, there we go. We've got a slightly tapered back end that's still hugely chunky. I mean, hugely chunky. All right, so what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be coming in and we are going to be tapering in here as well. Okay, so we transferred our pattern. We took this top piece of our pattern and we kind of estimated where we wanted this to be. We've got it the same on both sides. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make a tapered cut in like that. All right, roughly right there. Okay, so now there's our next pattern. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to tilt our bandsaw table and we're going to send this through. Instead of straight through, we're going to send it through on an angle, and we're going to cut here so we can cut this on a taper on both sides. All right, there we go. We've got a taper here as well. Okay, so we cut our shape out, then we tapered this way, then we tilted the table and we shaved the bottom side off like this. All right, just like that. All right, we're going to be cutting this off later. All right, but not right now. So what we're going to do first is we're going to get out our dust mask, we're going to get on some gloves, and we are going to go Dremel bananas on this thing. We're going to totally sculpt this to be round. All right, here we go. Dust mask on, gloves on. We're about to make a mess. All right, there we go. Look at that. Nice rounded off top. It's still a little bit thick. Wow, that is shaped nicely. Really cool. All right, that's as far as we're going to go. Now look what happened here. This is bizarre. Sometimes when you buy a sheet of foam, there's an air pocket inside the foam, and as you cut through it, you find a little hollow hole inside there. Well, there's one right there. All right, now it's kind of weird, see that? But it's okay because we'll fill that with our quick seal, so you won't even see that. All right, our 220 sanding stick, and let's go over this area we just Dremeled the heck out of. All right, now with the 320.
Really nice. Get our heat gun out. Let's seal this up just so that this tightens up right here where we were dremeling and sanding. That is awful darn nice. Good golly, check that out. Wow. And again, really nice. All right, man, this is making me insane. We got to clean this mess up before we say another word. All right, there we go. Now we've got one last cut to make, all right? There's our pattern. Right there, that piece of the handle right there like that. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this over to the scroll saw and we're gonna cut this piece out, all right? And we'll show you why when we're done doing it. So. All right, there we go. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this thinner, all right? And right there. All right, here we go. We cut it skinnier so we can put it right back in the center and have it nice and recessed, just like that. Got that back end centered. There we go. Look at that. That is cool. Man, I got junk all over my hands still from dremeling. Man, I hate a mess. Keep a clean shop. We are going to do some more dremeling. We thought we were done, but we're not. We're going to come in and we're going to shape right in here in this corner for the finger on both sides. All right, there we go. We've got a little, we rounded off the inside edge and we contoured a little bit there. Ooh, wow. That feels pretty good on both sides. Now that's pretty cool, man. I'm liking that. All right. All right, there we go. Softened up the edge here, softened up in the where the trigger finger goes on both sides, right in here. Couple. Really nice. All right. You know what time it is. Time to stick this on here. All right, here we go. Now this is where you want to be careful. We're going to make sure we line up right inside of our marks. And we are at the top. And we are at the bottom. There we go. There we go. Let's make sure we get total contact down here along the edge, down here in the hip. Oh, look at that. That's tight. Wow, and that's tight in there too. Really tight where we did all that scroll saw work. Shaped handle. Wow, look at that thing, man. That is pretty sweet. All right. Let's go ahead and do our sight. Let's cut right through like so. There we go. All right, there we go. Nice. Simple little sight right there. Sweet. All right, let's round this edge. Nice. All right, let's bring in our heat gun. Let's seal this whole thing up and tighten it up. All right, there we go. Look at that, man. That is sweet. Now, okay, there we go. Now, we talked about this already, that we made this whole thing a lot bigger than it normally would be. Well, maybe 15% bigger. But if you really want to make sure that the handle is perfectly shaped to fit your hand, all you have to do is custom fit it for you. Hold it, draw your line right around here, under here, and down here, just so you've marked the area where your hand needs to go. And then all you have to do is come in with your Dremel and reshape. Take off even more of the edge, more in here, more on this edge, just to thin it up for your hand if you really want to. We're not going to, but that's as easy as it is for you to do. But what we do have to do is we have to come forward now with these details. We're going to need to mark out the shape around this little vent mark and where the wood handle would be. Okay, so this is all supposed to be a wood handle. And so here's the line where the front of the wood handle would be, right here, up around the top, and right to here. And then these are the little spaces that go around this cool little detail. So now we're going to do a technique on these so that they stand out as separate. All right, here we go. We're going to come in with our X-Acto knife, all right? And we're going to just break the surface with the tip of our blade. All right, we're going to come down to this edge. To the tip where we started, right there. Now you can't see it, but we have an X-Acto line around there. Okay, we're going to come and we're going to do the same thing on this side. Now we're going to do the same thing for where our wood handle would be. All right, so we're going to start right there. We're going to come around and we're going to go right around the bottom. All right, now we're going to go to this side. And we're going to go right, we're going to follow our Sharpie line around, making a cut. And we're going to come right over to this side and we are going to meet up right at that line. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come through here and go around the side. All right, there we go. Now, we're going to come in with our heat gun and we're going to heat this up and we're going to separate the creases on there where we made the X-Acto marks. All right, look at that. That is sweet. That is sweet. Now, when we seal this and we paint it and we paint our wood handle right up to here, it's going to look like a separate wood handle that was attached. And we've got that nice little detail around both of those pieces. Look at that. Really cool. All right, now we've got a piece of 3mm foam. We've got our brass tube. We're going to come in. Really simple detail right here. Watch this. We're going to come in. Look at that, man. Went right through there like butter. Let's do a couple more. Put a little tiny puddle of super glue right there. All right, there we go. Now we're going to come right in here into this little circle area. And we're going to stick 3 of those down. All right, check that out. We came in and knocked out a couple little rivets with our brass tube, popped them in place with some super glue, and that pretty much does it. So that last little rivet detail, that brings the build portion of our Squareness gun build to a close. All right, now we're going to come in with our quick seal. This is really good for filling in cracks and things like that. So you just take a little bit. Let's fill it in. right, there we go. Pretty good.
All right, we're out at the spray stand. We're gonna coat our Squareness gun with our Plastidip. And you know what we always say, even if you're outside in a well-ventilated area, do not spray without your respirator.
All right, there we go. We've got our Squareness gun sealed with a few coats of Plastidip. Nice, the whole thing's coated. Very cool and very easy. All right, we're just gonna leave it alone, let it dry all the way through all the layers, and then we are going to paint it. And should be a pretty easy paint job.
All right, we're gonna begin spraying our Squareness gun with our flat antique nickel. You know what we always say, even if you're outside in a well-ventilated area, do not spray without your respirator.
All right, there we go. Coated with our flat antique nickel. Really cool. And we didn't mask anything off. It doesn't matter if we got all this up here. All right, we're going to use our line we made for our wood handle, and we're going to paint all the back of this wood with wood grain on there and everything. So there you go. Look at that. Pretty cool. Even though... All right, we're just going to put a little bit of tape right where our crease is for where the wood handle is supposed to begin. All right, just like that. Really easy. See, we're just going to do a little bit of taping. All right, there we go. Just enough to have our area safe. All right, now we're going to come in with our real brown. And we're going to hit right around the area. We're going to be careful not to hit these little side details though, right here. See that? We're going to come right up to it, but stay away from it. We're going to go in with a brush to hit that area. All right, and now while we are still here with our brown paint out, we're going to get our brush and we're going to come in and we're going to cut in right at the edge of that little crease we made, just like that. Okay, now we're going to hide our brush strokes with our sponge, just like that. Look at that, nice. All right, there we go, we hit them. All right, there we go. We've got our brown down. Let's pull our tape off. We almost pulled our tape off, but we haven't gone in here yet in the underneath side to get our brown where the wood handle needs to be. That would have been a mess up. All right, there we go. We've got our brown handle painted on. Nice. All right, now we're going to leave that alone. Let it dry before we start going in and putting the wood grain on the handle. All right, actually what we're going to do before we put our wood grain down is we're going to come in with a little bit of this Calypso Sky. Okay, it's this really light, bright blue color. All right, now we're going to come in this area here. And we're going to come in, we're going to do probably, it's going to take a few layers because it's kind of, like we see a lot of times, it doesn't completely cover sometimes after you've sealed. All right, there you go. That's how easy it was. Just take your time, go slow, and you can do it. We've got one layer down. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And then when it dries, we'll come back in with a second layer and it'll really get nice and bright, the color. And we'll probably go in with a third coat too, after this dries. All right, there we go. 3 coats of our blue, looking good. All right, now we're going to come in with our brown and some black. Just like that. Dark brown stripes, skinny stripes right through the handle on both sides. All right, now what we're going to do is this, okay? We're going to come in with a piece of paper towel. All right, we're going to use our same brush. We're going to get most of it off. We're going to lightly sweep through like that. See what we're doing? Get most of it off. All right, there you go. See that? So just like that. And it gives those slightly darker stripes running through your gun. Just like that. See that? Okay, dig that. There's the wood handle. Simple. We've done this kind of wood grain before. Come in with the edge of your brush and do the skinny dark brown stripes. And then use the same paint, but get it dried off on a piece of paper towel and do your soft, thick stripes. So we've got the thin, sharp ones and the soft, thicker stripes on both sides. Just enough to give it that wood grain illusion when you look at it from a couple feet away. That's it, man. Looking good. All right, so with that last wood grain detail, that brings our Squareness gun build to a close. All right, there you go, nice and easy. You saw us basically shape the whole back half and then attach the 2 pieces, and we have a complete Squareness gun. And you know, we already mentioned the fact that we made this bigger than normal, but we like to do that. It just makes it feel and look a little more exaggerated. It's kind of cool that way. And you saw how easy it was to do the wood grain handle. We've done this before, real simple painting techniques, and it's just enough to give it that kind of like wood look. You can spend a little more time on it if you want to really get in there with some fine lines to make the wood grain pop out, but it's up to you how far you go. And you also saw us mention how you can reshape the handle just by marking where your hand's going to go and dremeling a little more if you want. But easy stuff, man. You can totally do this. And it turned out great. Love this thing. Ooh. Cool. Alright, so that's it. That concludes making an EVA foam Squareness gun part 2. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And together we're going to go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.